Coming on 7 years. Yeah, it's a good place to work. Big area, 80 hectares out here. That's a lot to look after. A lot of it kike. We're in between both couch and kike, so you've got to deal with both of them.
The greens at Camden are fairly old. Drainage is a bit of an issue, so quite conducive to some turf grass diseases. What would be the diseases that you have to manage, I guess, most intensively to make sure you're on top of them?
The number one disease we get out here is your Pythium. Because again, like you said, the old greens, some of these greens are 70, 80 years old. All of them are push-up greens. You know, you're almost a 70-30 with just a really thick, heavy greens. And we try to aerate them as much as we can as well. I like to go out with a wetter, and I use the Banol as well. I throw that in as a precaution. Again, as you can see on the greens, there's a lot of low-lying areas. I do root health assessments every 2 weeks, and we check them out. But again, on precaution, we use the Banol quite regularly.
Can you generally see the Banol helps you control your O-spore, your Pythium O-spore numbers, and help you manage that in conjunction with your fungicide program?
100%, yeah. I use it religiously, almost to the fact where I believe that's what saves me. It's my go-to. I always have it on the shelf ready to go. You know, with the 45, 46 degree days, high humidity, again, watering a lot because where we are, we just get them sometimes, them issues that we have to hit.
So Shane, when you're applying the Banol, I mean, it's obviously a fairly frequent product as you were explaining, but how do you actually apply it, irrigation and other components that go with the application?
Yeah, well, as we put it out with a wetting agent, an insecticide, or a kelp product as well, and we just give it a wash in, depending on whether it's a compound or there's anything playing at the time. We try to get in and give it a good water in as well. Obviously, wash it off, get it in. We use a blue dye as well rather than the foam marker, so we can see where we've been. And basically, once we got that blue off, we're ready to go. Yep. So we cut prior, spray, and then wash it in.
And you apply your water immediately after the green's applied, so you can wash that Banol into the root zone to be absorbed by the plant.
Yeah. We're very lucky here. I can have every head on every green going at one time. So we've got a nice pump system. So as soon as we spray, we get the nod, we whack the sprinklers on straight away. So depending on a green this size, we can whack 2 heads on at once. So then we can get it in rather than letting it sit there and dry on. So that is a bit of a good factor too for us as well.
So Shane, with your fungicide preventative program, Reserve Stressgard is a big part of that. I mean, why is that part of your program and how does it fit in?
I use the Stressgard during summer quite frequently. I use it for the Stressgard, but I also use it for obviously that sunscreen effect to help out with everything else, being so warm here as well. So I thought, why not use the whole kit and caboodle with it and work it together to save it. It goes in when we do a lot of the other mixes as well. Obviously we don't wash in, and we get a great result from it. Mainly mine's to do with colour. I see a lot more colour. This year we sort of had where the grass was going that little grey because it was stressing out a bit. But this year the general vigour and colour has been a lot greener, a lot more pleasing to look at, and we've been able to keep up stripes more. My members see it as the green's healthy when they can actually see a stripe rather than anything else. So I've had a lot of colour still in them, which is good. I've backed off obviously the nitrogen levels and using less fertilisers, but the green itself is a lot more healthier.
When you're applying the Reserve Stressgard, I mean, how are you making that application, leaving it on the leaf? Are you a tank mixing it? I mean, how is that part of your program?
The boys normally start about 5 o'clock, try to get out before golfers, give us, roughly 20-30 minutes before we can try to get anyone on them. Yeah, we just leave it on and away we go.
Yeah. And with the Stressgard, if you see a weather event coming, you see one of those Western Sydney 40-degree weekends coming, are you moving that application around to be in front of that to get the Stressgard to help out with the environmental stresses that you get out here?
We normally look again at the Thursday, the Friday prior to that weekend, especially long weekends too. We'll go in and use it as well, just to give us that safeguard sort of part of with it, so we're not worrying about it as much.